Y'all, hey y'all, it's me, Gibbs.
It's the one and only Mr. Musty Facts.
It's me, Gibbs.
It's the one and only Mr. Musty Facts, and
This talks for us.
You were slipping a little bit.
I did.
I'm gonna give you
Right,
grace.
why you weren't the one that was slipping? Why was me that was?
I'm gonna give you grace.
Okay.
Special show for you all. We are celebrating God, as I like to call it, the black woman.
All right.
So
All right.
I know on this show y'all hear me really advocate for men, black men especially, talk about our health, but in all actuality, we wouldn't be nowhere near where we are in society, in life. Hell, we wouldn't even be able to have life without the black woman. So we have three lovely ladies.
You got me
queens.
too. All right.
Or should I say we have two queens and a heathen.
And a gift. All right.
A heathen that comes in the form of a gift.
It's me.
I really want to get into some things. So, how would you like to do this introduction outside of what I did?
Okay, so I'm gonna introduce myself, right? So, just forget it, because I ain't like y'all response. Okay, so the person to my immediate right, this love, this beauty, this queen, the person that created God's greatest gift. Okay, Mama Gibbs.
Hey, Mama Gibbs.
The person immediately next to her is my bestie, my rider, my sister wife. We're going to call her Lori. Okay, Lori. And the person next to her is
my bro.
I'm me.
Girl.
Right.
We all know
The one and only.
Don't start.
Exactly.
Don't start.
Right. So.
Mr. Musty.
Right, we done. My bad.
It's just you. I don't know if you realize it. It's just you.
I'm sorry.
You're the only one. It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
One monkey won't stop our show.
That's a hit, though. That's a hit. That is a hit.
So just diving right into it. At what age did you all become mothers? And start with Mama first.
It was the 3rd of September.
14.
14.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
It's been a long time. It's been a long time.
You don't
okay.
You don't look it though. You know what I mean? Look it good. That's look it good. That's all that matters. Thank you.
We'll go to you last. Lori.
27.
27. And I guess we gotta do gifts. Yes.
No, you ain't got to. Okay, but you will. Okay. I became a mother at 30. What was I 29? See,
I'm not good with you.
We're not good.
I don't think she good with that. Short-term memory.
29, 30-ish, something like that.
Okay. Young, cool. All right.
She is 9.
Yeah, so 30.
Yeah.
You're 39, she just turned 9.
Yeah.
So then I technically was 29 going into
It's a 30. You're 30. Okay.
See, I was right. I hate when people question me. It's crazy.
You questioned yourself.
I don't like that. I really don't. But it's fine. Let's go.
So, as far as, and of course I want to start with Mama first.
Well, is she gonna leave everything?
Yes.
I mean, I get it. It's a mother
No, I'm
tribute
telling
episode.
you. You asked me a question, I'm going to tell you, yes, she's going to lead everything today. Because you wouldn't be here.
She said, right.
Mom, please don't do this in front of people. Please.
No. So as I was saying, how was your introduction to motherhood at such a young age?
Totally clueless, unexpected, had no support, no help, nothing.
Damn.
That's deep.
Right.
That's deep. So is it any moment that you can remember that you can go back to it and it kind of gave you that reality is here now? Whether it was during the pregnancy, if it was right after
Labor.
labor. Okay. I understand that.
No turning back after that.
Right. Everything was fun and games until the labor pains kicked in.
Right.
Not the same.
Nobody prepared you for that. Nobody.
Did you have like morning sicknesses and stuff like that?
Not for the most part, no.
Really?
A queen. I just want to let you know they don't build them like that no more.
I didn't have.
No epidurals, none of that.
They don't.
You know what I'm saying? That you just being shady. Don't do that, Round.
Why? Because I didn't have an epidural.
No, because when I was at the hospital, she was there, and she cut up about the fact that I had an epidural.
Why?
I thought they used to say ibuprofen when y'all said that.
No, it's literally called- why y'all so stressed that we don't want to deal with pain?
No.
She had the nurse.
Why not? What's the big deal?
She told the nurse, "Don't give it to me."
We
for
had to
an
lock
hour.
this lady out.
I had to argue with her.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's my body.
So it's even better. Can you explain why you don't want her to have an epidural?
Yeah,
Whoa.
If I did it, why come she couldn't do it?
Exactly.
that's not.
It's pain. Deal with it.
Oh, bars.
No,
It wasn't even an option for me.
Don't interrupt
Epidural
me.
wasn't even an option back then for me. They didn't even mention it to me. I wouldn't have took it anyway, but it wasn't even an option. So now they got all this medicine you take, and
Mm-hmm.
But why you want your daughter to suffer when she don't have to?
But I think you're missing something.
it make you stronger. You'll be okay.
Ding.
Please,
No,
You
because
more attached to the little baby.
I doubt it. Can't get no more attached. I promise. Can't get no more attached.
so even piggybacking off of the epidural, you do understand that there's so many women right now that have issues
Later on down the line.
from getting epidurals. On top of, you don't know what's in that epidural, and I know that the older generation was very keen on taking care of their bodies. That's why they worked out, they walked, they went out and had fun. Versus even our generation, we did it, but we didn't do it as much as they did. We were using distractions. So it's say like every generation gets weaker in areas that are so important, so vital to growth.
I disagree.
You
I think that they were, because they had less knowledge than we did due to like our ability to get knowledge so much quicker than they were able to get it. They all had encyclopedias. And if you ain't shuffled through them, you ain't had the internet, you ain't had Google, you ain't. So I said that to say I actually believe that because they were less knowledgeable about it, they allowed doctors to just put stuff in them because they didn't know. So they have vaccines. What? There's so many more people in our generation that are against vaccinations, against this, where they still aren't informed to let doctors just get them whatever and accept it, have less questions, because they didn't think to question them like we do.
I don't think that's true. And the only reason why I don't think that's true, and I'll let her speak on it, but I don't think it's true because look right now how much chemicals are in our bodies versus theirs. You gotta think right now. You have older men who smoke cigarettes for 40 years, been drinking for 25.
My granddaddy.
Get out that man's business. I don't like this. You're just shading.
That's what my granddaddy.
But think about it. And then once they quit, that's when they start to die. It's a reason why black men don't even like going to the hospital. It's not because we're afraid of getting poked or we're afraid of checking vitals, because we learn our bodies instead of having somebody else tell you about your body. So you can go see a doctor and realistically, you're really a lab rat. Because what they're saying is, we gave you this, and it worked for these 12 people. So the probability that it worked for this 13th person, but you know, like I know, everybody's not the same. This is the same thing that happened when everybody was getting the jab.
Stop. What was you saying, L'Oreal?
Go ahead, Lori.
But I'm saying, Jason, I think that the doctors nowadays, 5 minutes in, trying to diagnose in 5 minutes, not really, listening. But I also agree with you because just thinking of my grandfather didn't go to the doctor. And when he started going, 70, almost 80, they wanted to put him on all these pills, and then he's, vastly deteriorated. But I could never remember him being sick, never being down until he, started to. And then he eventually was like, I'm not taking them.
That's 1,000% of because of what we eat. They ate fresher things than we
Yeah,
did. So the things that are in our bodies that's making us the way that we are is because of what we're eating. Our parents didn't eat a bunch of the mess that we ate. They didn't. They cooked more.
You didn't need a doctor to tell you that. That's the problem. You didn't need
Also, you had a lot of
doctor.
moms and grandmas.
Yeah,
You know,
you
back
did.
then.
Right, but you
versus,
also had a mom.
Nowadays.
You have a mom. My mom right now, my mom gets headaches. My mom, regular headache is at the capacity of a high migraine. That's a regular headache. My mother say, I'm tired of taking pills. My mother, okay, cool. An older person told her, drink vinegar. Take a tablespoon of vinegar and watch how it knock your headache down.
They did have them on Humvees.
But what I'm saying to you, you're gonna go through something in life. Their generation have went through so much. That's what made them so tough. That's why a lot of stuff don't get under their skin. Versus even our generation, we care. And our kids care. So there's a beauty in letting nature do what nature do. Because you knew that you was gonna have these contractions when you decided to lay up and let.
Don't do that. So let me tell you something.
When you decided,
can say whatever you want to say.
But
You've never experienced it. So it's easy for you to say to deal with the pain.
I didn't say
you
that.
can keep it. She can keep it. Shoot me up because it was a different.
Yeah,
That's an
and
easy
then
way
you
out.
get mad when they say that because the thing is, you went through the same pain that she went through.
I did not. Our bodies was not made the same.
Listen, but you
And
still.
my body was a lot more older than hers.
Well, that's your fault.
Whoever
Whatever
fault.
the
The
case may
point
be.
is.
But all I'm saying is, you went through some pain. She went through. It might not feel the exact same way, but y'all both went through contraction pains.
You couldn't deal with it. You started breaking down. The nurse was like, "Wait a minute." She was like, "No."
She cussed at me and
Soft as
everything.
hell. That's what I'm saying.
What-
That's what she
right,
said.
what's
That's the
going
nurse
on
is saying. The nurse
Right.
is saying soft as hell.
I
just
dealt
stay
with
with
it
the
as long
nurse
as I
saying.
could.
You deal with it as long as you
And
can.
guess what?
I went there with a natural birthday plan.
Yeah.
But that's because I
It
didn't
got
know
real.
what?
Yeah, real.
Please.
But even,
How long before it took you to get the
2 months.
Soon as I left the room, I left to go get something to eat. Down the street, came back. The door
They
was
hit
closed.
in
I'm
the
like,
back.
wait a minute. She went in labor. We opened the door. No, I got an epidural. I wanted to snatch her out the bed. How could you let this happen? You don't need an epidural. You
No,
can do this.
I went.
And
a long
that's it.
time.
You hear that
That was a long
talk,
time before I did it.
that spirit. You can do this.
I
Stop.
don't need that eye of the tiger spirit right now.
No.
I am experiencing something I
But I-
never experienced.
as
I
mother,
am
you-
burning. My
no matter
body
how
is
much-
breaking in half.
Let me tell you.
No.
I'm going to get to death.
How long was your labor? How long?
My labor was 12 hours. I got
it was
epidural.
24.
What?
Yes.
Your numbers are off again. It wasn't 24. We went that morning.
Exactly. And I had her the next morning.
No, you didn't.
When I had my child.
The same day, wasn't it?
No.
I could have swore we went that morning, went out for lunch, came back, they gave you the epidural. Well, it must have been that we out. Was the next morning.
I'm not sorry.
So what was the purpose of the epidural?
Us.
It didn't make you go in labor faster.
Now, epidural does slow down your birthing process.
Well, I'll say this.
So
When I got it, I had them about 2.5 hours later. I went from 10 at night. You remember where we was
balling
we
down
was
there. We was
balling
kicking
down.
and
Like,
kicking.
oh my god!
So you can
Right.
do all this pregnant, but y'all needed the epidural though?
What?
She wasn't.
I didn't know.
She was just there.
No, I was
Oh,
there.
okay.
I didn't have any contractions, Braxton Hicks all day. We watched.
I ain't had none of that.
We watched like what 10 loads of clothes. I was like, we going down. We had pizza. We was like, we going down.
Kicking it.
As soon as I get there, immediately I'm like,
You
let
start
me
having
dart.
contractions?
Yes, let me dart and go in the bathroom and have it because I'm hurting. You know, because I didn't think it was like contractions. I thought it was like, oh, Braxton Hicks because I haven't had it all day.
Yeah,
When
I
it
got
started
that.
hitting, it hit.
I never
But-
had breast eggs.
Yeah, I do.
so
But
good.
I
Take a
also
pill.
think I did get up and walk around. I walked
To ease the pain a
around
little bit.
because
Or
I
while you were
was
in
seven
labor.
from 10 to I got there about 12. So I
Oh.
did epidural till about 7 that morning. Had them like
You
10.
did try.
Yeah, I told her I was doing natural.
you think
I told her I was doing a natural, and
You see
the
the truth?
nurse.
She did go for some hours. She
Round.
I would've
I went
known
for some
that.
hours too.
Had I known I was gonna have them 2 hours later, I probably would have just stuck it out. I didn't stuck it out all this time.
She had the epidural in the afternoon, and then that next morning the kid was born.
But that's because it
It's
was
a difference
stuff,
being
like,
in labor.
you know, my
24
cervix was
hours.
swollen. Just knock it off, round, okay? Talk about your birthing process.
Mine were fine.
talk to us. Talk
What you
to us.
mean? They were fine. You
That
know what?
C-section?
It's
What?
unfortunately she was the hardest labor. No surprise, right? Right, exactly.
And the best child you got. Okay, so from a little pain comes a great gift. That's it.
You said that about Chelsea?
Wow.
For sure.
Wow.
Pain.
I think she might be giving you smoke because of that epidural. I think she giving you smoke because of the epidural.
I think she give me smoke because of what grandma is. It's in her lineage or
That's a
something.
fact.
It skipped
It's
me.
in all y'all in.
It's getting.
No, it did skip
I
me.
need you to stop. We're
What?
not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this.
Are you serious?
You told her from your father's side.
See, she right. It's
She's
true.
like her father's people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She ain't like a great
What?
though.
No,
Shout out
she
to
got a
the
mixture.
Well, it's more them. It's 10% my
I see that.
side, 90% their side.
Whatever.
Maybe
Greatness.
like 20,
Cause
30.
period. Cause period. It's just greatness.
So
But also, I will say this. Once you deliver, you forget about all the pain that you endured.
Oh.
You know,
It is
that's
true.
really like you forget
Yeah,
about that
that
part
goes
because
away
that
real-
it goes immediately.
Exactly.
Literally, like immediately as soon as they're born.
You go into, I think, just a mother
Get
mode.
emotional.
I don't know
You
why it sound
emo-
like the first time you had sex. I don't know. That's what it sound like to me. With women, it just sound like it hurt, but then I get that orgasm.
No. You still feel that pain. That's different.
Okay,
You know,
I get it.
Remember that pain?
you've seen it where the men put on the thing and feel the contractions. I think that all men should go through that.
I put it on. I put it on that Steve baby shower.
Was it? You feel it?
Well, you feel it. How you clench up. It's actually just it's shock therapy. That's what it's shock therapy. And it hurt. It hurt. It lock you up all the way around. Your whole, it feel like everything just pushing in. So I get it. I get it. And I mean, I would never want to go through that. Like, I thank God that I am who I am. I'm not disrespecting any trans with what I'm about to say, but ain't no way I'm gonna disrespect y'all like that. There's no way I would even allow a human being that isn't a woman to downplay what women do. Nowhere in hell, because
Thank you.
yeah, no, because
All men should
honestly,
do
it irritates me because when you know, first of all, so I was at both of my kids' birth, and I was at a kid that's not my kid's birth. So when you get to see that process, and then you have to see what goes on, and then even when you have the kid, you see how a mother. We're talking about real mothers right now. We don't celebrate thoughts. I don't celebrate them. I'm serious. When you see that care, and you understand why men say a woman has to be the closest thing to God, because you've never seen anything like that as a man. So to hear a transgender, would it be a transgender woman? As they call
Just
themselves.
say trans.
No, I'm being respectful. Because
Trans woman.
a man who is transgendering to a woman, when you hear them say some of the things that they say to women, whether it's online or on these talk shows, and is disheartening and it's disgusting, because you don't wake up one day and decide that I want to be a woman and I'm not gonna respect women. I'm not gonna
Right.
the very thing that you want to be, you should research.
Yeah.
And you got the nerve to tell a woman she ain't a woman just because she can have a child. Who the hell are you?
I agree.
You gotta understand, you gotta earn the right to be called a woman. So that's the thing.
L'Oreal's birth scared me.
Why
That's
is
why
that?
I didn't have my kid for a few more years after that. It was just like, one of our friends was, I think, in the room with L'Oreal when she started crowning, perhaps, or something.
Oh, seen that.
And the way they came back and was like, oh
No,
my
they were
God.
sitting on the couch like
Oh my God, I never want
They
to see
didn't have a
nothing like
cruises.
that again.
Kanika and
okay.
Peach.
They was like, oh my God,
I seen
I
the
never
crowd.
want
I
to
was
see.
like, whoa.
It scared me, baby.
I had a
Let's
lot of
hear
bad
about
other
her
things
story.
to say, yeah.
I was just like, nah,
And see, I
that
had
ain't for me.
experience seeing my nephew born at 19. I was in college, so
Oh,
you know,
no,
so
baby.
it was, you know.
Mm-mm.
But I did stop in the midst of the pushing. It was like, this what y'all want to do this?
Girl, cause no, that's
No, the way I seen it, when I seen that, I say, whoa.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to hear a woman talk about nothing with no man ever again. When I seen it open up, I'm like, What? No.
More than the condom. I'm
I'm
saying.
talking about this
you know,
opened up like
I'm
you
just
did it.
saying, you know, in the same token, Mark
Yeah,
said that
I know.
a magnum, I need a magnum, I'm in the health field, so I can stick my
A real live balloon.
in the
Real live
condom.
balloon.
They be feeling like, but it
Real
really
live
can.
balloon.
Right.
Baby.
I was like, man.
It opens up.
And I mean, it gives you a chance to look at things differently. So,
Mom, you said you felt like you didn't have a lot of support. Did you feel like you had a lot of support, Lori?
It depends. Mother-wise, yes. Grandmother-wise, yes. I do feel like that if I didn't have them, I don't know what, I wouldn't have no other choice, right? To be strong. But I think that instilled when it came to babysitting, when I had those sleepless nights and that I couldn't, because I breastfed for so long, like it was draining, his night and days was mixed up. So to have that motherly, support definitely helped on with a lot of things. Cause as a new mom, you think you know everything. You think you know. You think, and then you wanna do everything all at once. Why they sleep. Let me just do a million things. Now it's like let me just sit this baby over here. I'm going to sleep with this baby. I do everything that right.
Everything.
But we didn't. You couldn't tell us that.
Yeah.
Right.
And I also think having your child later than earlier, you're not growing up with your child. You like kind of like it's a difference, but it's still hard, that adjustment regardless of when you have it.
I never really gave y'all, specifically y'all, flowers, but y'all were actually very instrumental in my support in my village when having my daughter. And it's crazy because you might not know it, but like when it came to breastfeeding, you laid out the game plan for me. You told me what to get. You told me how to do it. You told me how to supply it. You told me how to store it. You gave me bags to help me store it.
And I didn't
you
have
probably don't even remember.
And I learned.
You taught me everything I needed to know.
That's right.
And she passed it down to me. And then of course there will be days where I'll be asleep. My mama will come in my house and kidnap my kid, take her and be gone. But at first, my immediate reaction is like, wait, what? But also it's like, you know what? Thank you. This giving me a time to sleep.
Looking back,
time to rest. So I really want to give y'all flowers. Y'all really did. And of course, there were other people. I don't want to discredit any support that I had. Of course, I had my husband. I had even her brother. He was helping when he could. You know what I'm saying? Just like I had other people in my space. But specifically, the influence that you two gave me really helped me out quite a bit. So thank you all. I know, right? That was a cute moment.
Well, she was a really good baby, so it made it easy.
She was
a crying
baby.
Chelsea was amazing.
Hold on, let's get this right. Mom, was I not a good baby?
Yeah, you were good for the most part.
What does that mean?
You were good until you got to be a teenager, which is okay.
Whoa.
I don't have a problem with that. You were good as a little person.
Get fired, baby. You got to get fired.
Why? Because my antics?
Don't keep your ad libs.
You know I got ad libs. That's what I'm here for.
You can be a teenager too.
No. For who? Not for me.
You can't tell me what happened for her.
You were terrible.
What? That's because you
ran away.
Whoa.
You went to stay with your grandmother.
I don't know what's happening right now.
You don't remember you leaving?
That's all I'm saying. I don't remember that.
Oh, okay, well.
But this was you. You was the problem, not me.
Oh, so I had a problem. You had a problem with me being in my house and all this stuff that went with.
She had a problem with the rules.
Which brings me to my next thing.
You left.
It definitely brings me to my next thing. As far as support, like I know your children are adults. Your child is close to a teenager, and your child got them the ways to go. What was and what is the toughest adjustment that you have to make as mothers?
Their attitudes.
Okay. Please don't interrupt her, because I'm tired of you right now.
I can do the kids. It's just the teenage. When the teenage stage they go through, horrible.
What's so bad about, because you're not the only child, first of all.
Correct.
What's the worst part about the teenage stage?
They think they're grown. They know everything. You can't tell them nothing. Any rules you give, they break. And for some reason, time, well, I'm not going to say time meant nothing then. Time doesn't mean anything now. But every curfew, she would never be at home on time.
I don't remember that. I think, now hold on now, this don't sound right. I wasn't even or nothing.
So what was you doing?
I didn't even go nowhere.
So what were you doing?
I had a job.
Okay.
I would leave my job and go home. I wasn't out kicking it. I ain't go to no parties. I ain't do none of that. I think you just, I don't know what's
So you were never in trouble for breaking curfew?
Where you going straight?
The only time you ever made it home on time for a curfew is if you was with Edward.
Oh.
Edward always made sure you were on time because if not, you were going to be on punishment.
Oh, he had to get. He
didn't want to be on.
He had to see things. It made sense. It made sense.
Woo.
Time means nothing to you. It's not occasionally late. Every single time you dot the door, you're going to come back late. Intentionally.
Maybe the curfew was too early. I don't remember.
Wow.
It don't matter if it was 5 o'clock, you need to be in
Did
the
you
house at
not
5
just
o'clock.
say that? That's too early.
She said it.
Rules. So you just said it. Breaking
They
rules.
mean nothing.
They meant okay. All right. Ooh, I feel bad for you when Chelsea got.
I'm thinking the same
Because you
thing.
catch a hell. You wonder, comes around. You wonder when
She's
you catch a
never
hell.
going to make any of her curfews like shit.
And she gonna debate you when she
I do
debates
feel
now.
like our kids, what you've done with your parents, it's
It's
kind of
coming
like
back,
it's
yeah.
coming back.
Dang.
Oh my God.
Like,
And
I'm just like, I want to repent. Like,
You feel bad because you know it's coming back.
the mouth.
Yeah.
Child.
But I do feel like it's hard. They know everything, and this is starting at 11.
Yes.
Actually,
Smarter than you all were.
8 or 9. Like,
They go on the internet. You didn't have the internet all day.
None of that. They knew how to do that at 2, 1.
Exactly.
All of that.
So it's different.
But I also think for me, as the mom of a boy,
Yeah, boys are different. girls than
it's
boys,
a
so-
totally different,
Absolutely.
thing, and it's a struggle, because definitely if you're a single mom, you struggle with, if it's not a male in the household, you struggle with those times that they are breaking down emotionally. And as a woman, we are emotional creatures. We feed off of that, and you don't want your child, because at a dating stage, we don't want to date too many emotional men that, 'cause we're emotional.
Right.
And all of that. So you're while they're figuring out as a preteen how to struggle with that, and you're trying to correct that, but you're also, so for me as a single mom, that's a struggle for me to. I can't teach you. I can only teach you so much, and I can only teach you how I would like you to be as a man, or as a man that I would date. Like, I want you to do better than who I'm dating. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be able to court. I want you to be able to, whatever I'm looking for, I want to make sure that I instill that
For
into
him
him
to
now.
be that for him.
But also, I still can't teach you. I could teach you toughen up. But also, I'm the emotional caressing mom. That's moms are
Right.
nurturing. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard,
Nurturing.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that is a struggle.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
I think my struggle is just trying to practice patient parenting,
Yes.
but also like making sure that every now and then I him up against a wall. Like, I just feel like you gotta have a little bit of balance. Like, I want to be a patient parent, explain things to you. I said no because, but then when there's too many questions, still choke you up by your collar. Cause stop.
They don't understand that, like,
I agree.
It's no boundaries
It's
set
no
with young
boundaries.
kids
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
See, back in the day, it was curfew. You need to be in the house in bed at 9.
But also
of
they not
course,
outside.
again,
they with us.
Right.
They're not even.
exactly. So see, schedule is key. Everything should be operated by a schedule, regardless. They got the freedom of the phones. They got the freedoms of tablets and all that. I'm against all of that. I came up watching TV Saturday morning, eating a bowl of cereal. Nowadays, they on the internet playing games. They doing this. They outside. It's no structure. They do what they want to do.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to even keep my grandkids. They're totally different from how my kids are. When I keep them, it sends me over the top because everything else there is nothing. They didn't have a phone or tablet to take, so I can't take that. They never had that. It's watch TV. I'm cutting the lights out at 9. You already know to go to sleep. If you don't go to sleep, don't get out of bed. With them, they up all night. They on their phones. They calling. They FaceTime. I'm like, wait a minute. It's moving too fast for me. I can't even keep up. So it's a struggle for me to even babysit. It's too much.
That's a thing.
So you
I also think that the new era of grandparents is definitely different than our grandparents.
What?
I wouldn't even say so. Well, I do see. I will agree with that because they got it. But it's a difference in they're their grandkids.
No, I would treat them just like I treat my kids, but I can't because they got devices. They know more. She at her age, she was never.
You a little soft.
She's way smarter than what she is. Because I have to be, because Chelsea knows so much.
I can agree with that.
She this, she that.
I didn't even know you at a young age, but the reason why I can tell you I know that because I hear her conversations.
Yeah.
She witty.
But I also think breastfeeding.
Yeah.
Because man, the IQ is high. Like it's like.
I'm gonna give you an example. I took them to the playground last weekend, and I told Chelsea I wanted to go. I'm like, it looked like it's raining. Why she in the back seat and say, I just looked at the weather. It's not supposed to rain today. I wanted to stop the car and get out and do something.
Because back in the day, Big Mama slapped you in your mouth.
But she didn't understand. You telling her like it's gonna rain. She didn't know it's not.
They think that it don't come out smart, but
they don't think it come out smart. But I'm telling you, in her mind, she tell you, Grandma, no, that's not gonna happen. I'll just check for you. In her mind, she might think she helped me.
No, she didn't. I know Chelsea. She didn't think she was helping me. Chelsea always wants to be right.
Damn, it sounds like somebody we know.
Chelsea wants to.
No.
I said her daddy.
Hey, true.
I said her daddy.
It sounds like somebody that we in here with.
Mind yourself.
I'm very mindful.
She's gonna be right all the time. See, Chanel wouldn't have had that response because Chanel didn't have access to a phone or nothing to look at that. Chelsea jumped immediately on her phone. Oh, it don't look like it's gonna rain today.
And see me, I'd have told her like, that's if you ever want to be wrong at work and get paid great. Go be a weatherman. Weatherwoman. Because they be wrong and get paid great.
Still the same amount.
Yeah.
Getting raises too.
So even with that being said, like y'all said, grandparents are soft. So me growing up in a single family household with my mom, I had to really do some research as of recent, and do some reflecting back in the day versus my two boys. I think one of the things that make it so difficult with grandparents, because we're so adamant about us having our kids and us raising our kids the way that we want to raise our kids. Mm-hmm. And I know y'all generation, y'all were not allotted the space to ask too many questions, explain things, or give out y'all views because y'all parents may have taken it as disrespectful.
Exactly.
So I think that's where it becomes a clash because you want to be around your grandkids, right? You know the value of a grandparent because a grandparent is the one who's normally at the top of the village that is raising the children. Mm-hmm. But when they say I didn't treat you like that or I didn't raise you that way, why you raising them that way? Mm-hmm. There's a communication barrier between our generation and you all's generation because we have the middle part, right? So like you say, Chelsea say things and Chelsea being slick at the mouth at times, right? Chanel you wouldn't say something to your mom.
Right.
Because she's going to take it disrespectful. So Gifts would be the middle person to say she has a little bit of both. So the communication between you and Gifts would probably help better parent Chelsea. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that we have to do better at in our generation of not being so upset with you all for whatever you all did to us and we didn't understand. And we didn't ask, even now that we're adults, we didn't ask, and even you all's generation being willing to hear us out and tell us. why you did things this way, why you looked at things this way, what made you treat me this way. Are you open-minded to evolving the way that life is doing consistently?
But see, that's the reason why I think that our generation practices so much patient parenting and stuff like that, because we felt silenced. We felt like we didn't have the capacity to be able to ask questions because we'd get hit. We felt like we ain't had a room to have an input, to have a voice. We kept being told, be quiet, don't do this, don't do that. And so we don't want our children to not have a voice. So we are in that, and we the first generations to try to break that.
Yeah.
So we're struggling with it. But what it is that we want to find a space where we can let our children feel like they have a voice, let our children feel like they're loved, they're heard, they're this. We're even a lot more emotional with our children.
Which
We
to me
tell
is a
our
problem.
children, but it's not though, because you should be able to tell your children, I love you, this, that, and the third, and hug them and kiss them and all these things,
I agree.
but still have a firm hand.
But that's the
and
problem.
so,
You see what you
There's
just
not
said?
a firm hand.
but see, the
firm
thing
hand.
is, our firm hand don't look like you all's firm hand, because your firm hands look like, be quiet, don't ask me no questions.
But I think
No,
So
our
we
firm
need-
hands look like we'll beat your ass.
yeah, but I think that's
But I
what
also
And that's
think
what
that,
I think it
but
should
I
be like
also,
that, though,
but I
because-
also think
Yeah.
when our generation versus y'all generation, we're trying to show the love right then and there. Like, I know my mom and dad loved me, but
They
you know,
didn't say it.
they didn't say it.
They didn't
You
say
know
it.
where I got that from? My grandma and granddaddy.
But that's what I'm saying.
I walk in the room, I'm giving hugs and kisses
Right.
Yeah.
immediately. I love you before you
But
walk out the door. I this and that.
Right.
And then you got, you know, I had a father that showed tough love.
Right.
So,
That's what I was just
you know what
gonna
I'm
get
saying?
into. But I
But
think
look at
y'all
the
don't like
people
it
that
when
made you all
mother.
be better people.
And that's what I'm saying. So
But better in what aspect? The reason why I'm saying that is because we're better successfully,
We struggle
but
in
we are
that
struggling in
emotionally.
an emotional space.
Yeah.
But
We
here-
really
Think
are.
about
Here's
who you
my-
dated, how
here's
what
my
you went
thing.
through,
Yeah.
Here's
and
my thing
who you
why-
look and search for
Love
your dating
from.
in your dating
But
dating
that's
world.
why I say, when first of all, everything should be structured. We don't have as much structure
Not at all.
because we too busy trying to be rebellious upon our emotions. And I say this strongly, we're too damn emotional as parents. Our generation, we're too damn emotional. But we're emotional enough to not go talk with our parents. Because, and again, I told the story about, well, my grandmother didn't tell me she loved me, right?
Right.
I did something to my grandmother to get her to throw a bottle at me, but it was out of emotion. And I applaud my grandmother so much because my grandmother called me the next day to have the conversation because she seen that I was hurting. So while we can't be adults and while we're hurting, go be vulnerable with your mom or your dad. You have to.
Yeah.
Look, mom, dad, I'm not trying to fight. Here's what's going on with me. Because whether y'all understand it or not, or whether y'all want to like be realistic, I'm telling you, parents go back home and they take it. Our parents go home and take what you said. In front of you, they the kings and the queens of straight face. I'm not trying to hear that.
Right.
But they go back in a prayer closet. They go back in their bedrooms. They might go back in their bed, and it plays over in their head, and they know that something ain't right. They know that it's not right. They know they
But
hurt
everybody
you.
don't have them parents where their communication is still.
Hear what I'm saying though? Stop blaming it on your parents.
I'm not blaming
What I'm
it on
saying-
that.
hold on.
They have to be open.
But you can open a door when you got keys.
You can open the door when you have keys, but you still have parents that still talk at, you know.
I'm gonna tell you this
like,
again.
you know,
That's healthy
yeah.
boundaries. But
Yeah.
that's what I'm telling you.
But that's
Listen,
part of their trauma too. Let's be real.
My mother is everything you talking about. My mother is everything you talking about. She talk at you. She don't want to hear this. She don't want to hear that. And even if she heard this, she'll probably think that I'm saying that she was a bad parent. No, I'm just saying you could have improved this. And now that we're adults, you got to hear me out. What you say earlier, I ain't none of your little friends. Well, you my friend today. Because I'm old enough now, I'm mature mentally, emotionally enough now, yeah, I got to be a friend. We got to have an adult to adult conversation. And look, no parent wants to die or be on their way out the door knowing that something ain't right.
Agree. And no kid want that.
But
no child.
But we're talking about them because we're willing to have that conversation.
Yeah.
They not right.
Yeah.
Because they got some stuff that they got to deal with from their parents, and that's part of it. So you have to be mindful. You have to really be mindful that, damn, I'm trying to get this conversation out of my mom, but my mom didn't talk to her mom and her dad like that.
Right.
So I'm gonna tell you one of the things that I've done before. Hey, you know how you say you ain't talk to Grip? You could, because Grip wasn't trying to hear it. You doing it to me. I want to correlate the two.
Yeah.
You know how you said, your dad wasn't trying to hear it. Like my grandfather was a dope fiend at one point in time, and I have a picture perfect memory of. No, he was an alcoholic too. My mom was pissed because he was drinking, but this is how he coped with the bad choices he made. He opened up a beer. My mama slapped the beer out of his hand. I'm talking about slap. Get it. And they grabbed my mom, but it hurt my mom. Because my mom seen what drugs and alcohol did to their family. She got some unresolved issues that she needs to take care of. So, in a very respectful way, I can say, hey, you know how you felt in that moment? I'm feeling that way, and I don't want to go out that way.
But you know what? Our generation is open to therapy.
Yeah.
Our parents' generation, they're not. They're not
open to going to see somebody that they don't know.
We didn't have that.
Right.
You know what therapy was? Therapy was Big Mama.
Right.
Yeah.
But she was messed up.
But
so how's she gonna help somebody
I'm
else?
gonna tell you how. Well, believe it or not, Big Mama was messed up, but Big Mama knew how to put that over here and put that over there, which is something that we struggle with. Because Big Mama knew I'm gonna put my drawers on
and do what I gotta do.
So I am gonna listen to you because I love you too much. Everybody's gonna make it to a point in life. It might not be a long period of time, but everybody make it to a point in life and they know I messed up. And I don't want this to go longer than what it was because it kills you to deal with that. My uncle's no longer here. I see it in my mom's face. It's hurting her. It hurt because her and my uncle weren't cool on great terms when he died. Now she can boo her, and you can play the game with me because I know the feeling. Because at one point in time I didn't get to tell my sister I love her before she left. Right? Because it was abrupt and she passed.
Gotcha.
We weren't on bad terms, but I didn't get to say that. So imagine if y'all really on bad terms for something that ain't worth it.
So how do we feel like we can help? So maybe it will help our generation parent if we had some of those conversations with our parents or something like that.
And that's all I'm saying.
But okay, I hear that. So what would you suggest that we do to help bridge that, to get to that place?
Know your parent. And I'm not saying know the bad part. Know the good part of your parent.
Of course.
You know how to you finessed your mom out of some stuff before.
All the time.
Relax. She was talking to L'Oreal.
Happens all the time.
I'm not a she, first of all.
He was talking to L'Oreal.
My pronouns are he.
Enough. Okay.
Sir. But what I'm saying is,
I'll be finessing you.
no,
Relax.
you do finesse.
Oh my God.
You can't tell me that it skipped a generation and Chelsea's just this ultimate finesse. You're a finesse.
I do finesse, but I don't finesse my mama.
You do finesse your mom.
Well, who else you finesse?
I've heard you finesse your mom. That's why.
My kid learned some finessing from Chelsea.
I believe
Facts.
He wrote the book on it.
So what I'm saying is,
Always something.
have that conversation, and sometimes I said this, and me and you talked about this. We disrespect time so much, especially our generation.
It's so crazy you said that though. Also, learning what healthy relationships are. Where did you learn that from? A lot of us ain't never really seen that. We just think the struggle, right. in our generation. But also what we're doing now, when you say we're more emotional with our kids, we're more emotional because they in 15 activities versus when we were growing up, you went to park district. You went to the park district. Your parents didn't drop you off. You went up the street. You walked up the street. When you had basketball games, your parents was working. They wasn't supporting. Right. They wasn't coming to that. Right. So now our kids, we working. 10, 12 hours, whatever. We getting off, we taking them to the next activity. Tomorrow's another activity. You know,
Then we gotta come home,
we
cook,
burnt out.
clean,
We burnt
make sure
out.
they did their homework.
We're not saying that
Activities
it's not.
are because you all put them in an activity.
I was just gonna say that.
All you gotta do is
I
one
agree,
activity is more than enough for
but the
because
thing
they got
is-
school. That's their job.
That's a full
You
job.
work a job, they
But
work
the
a
thing
job.
is,
School is their
nowadays
job.
you don't want them outside. They cannot be outside
so-
without
so-
you. So,
so
right.
First of all,
So then
I'm
they
gonna
gonna be in the
tell y'all, I
house
think
cooped
that's,
up.
I'm gonna tell y'all, and
too
excuse my
much.
language, I think that's bullshit. About you saying your kids can't be outside, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna explain to you why. When you decide to have a child, if you decided to have your child, you make decisions on where you want to raise your kid at. That's first and foremost. You shaking your head, no.
The only reason why I'm saying that is because things can happen to you no matter where you
I
place
didn't,
your
but see,
child.
but look, when we were walking to the park district, things could happen to us. I don't know if y'all had it out
But
west,
look at the-
but out south we had Homie the Clown. Okay.
But the thing
So what I'm saying is, so
we're in the street.
but that's the problem.
We didn't wake up and we seen a 9-year-old shot on the. I mean, not like that.
No.
When let me be real. I grew up in K-Town. When stuff went
You didn't see a
down.
9-year-old, but what I'm saying, but it's the same obstacles. It's just a different.
It's
form.
a different time, but it
Because
was
kids were getting
respecting
Our kids were getting kidnapped. We were getting kidnapped, and the only reson why we didn't hear it as much as we hear it now because we don't have social media.
I agree. Okay.
We don't have social media.
So you don't have a
Kids
fear
went on-
created then. You don't have a fear created.
But what I'm saying to you is, what my original point was, you can do your research because we all live life on probability. We don't live life on guarantee. Just because you go to school, you go to college, don't mean you guaranteed to get the job to make 6 figures. You know this and I know this. Just because your kid live in the dead smack of the hood, don't mean that they not going to be as safe as a person that's in the suburb. But probability tells me that the crime rate over here is not as high as it is here. So when I do have my kid, I'm going to make a conscious decision to move over here because I have a better probability. There's a community where I'm moving to versus there's not a community in these places because y'all just said it, right? We live in areas where it's a dog-eat-dog world. It's every man for himself. Y'all just had y'all first block club party last year, right? Mm-hmm. So y'all gonna have it again this year. Mm-hmm. So now guess what you're doing? You're recreating what they had, which is what we grew up with. Wow. We grew up in community. But due to the fact that we have parents and grandparents budging because we didn't like the fact that they were so disciplined, I'm gonna move away and I'm never gonna come back around because you hurt me. No. Stop, get out your feelings and say, damn, if she didn't do that or if he didn't do that, would I be here? One of the greatest things for me is my mom moved me from the south side of Chicago to the north side. Wonderful choice. One of the best choices in the world she ever gave me. Now, was it still crime going on up north? Absolutely. But was it at the capacity of out south?
Right.
No. You see what I'm saying?
L'Oreal's point is that we still are doing things differently than what our parents did them.
Yes.
And so because we're doing those things differently and we didn't have that blueprint, we're creating the blueprint. Mm-hmm. So we're making mistakes. We're doing things. We don't have a blueprint because what they did is not what we're doing.
But
you have access to resources to get the information
That's what I'm
and show
trying to
you
tell you.
what we're doing.
So
you gotta
that's
use
the
it. If
blueprint.
it worked for us, it'll work for you, but you got to follow it.
But we don't want what we're trying to do is break what it is that y'all did.
That's where the problem is going. Look at the crime in Chicago. Who was running Chicago? 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds. Nobody ever had kids that age. They were in school. Y'all rolling up in nice cars, dropping these kids off. That's what makes them soft. They need to walk through the snow. They need to walk through the rain. They need to be taught.
So they're not going to school that's up the street.
I don't disagree with that.
I'm not mad at that.
Your
but they
child
don't
does go to a school that's further away.
Yeah.
That's a whole different ballgame.
How old is he? I'm finna piss you off. How old is he?
11.
He's 11. You know what I was doing at 11 years old?
Catching the bus,
I
cross
was
town.
traveling from 6200 North to 64th Street.
Yeah, easily every day.
And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Which, hold on, this is why I'm telling you what I'm telling you. There was a man on the train who was stealing kids. There was a man on the train who was sexually harassing women.
It was a man. Now it's 16
No. Hold on. There were men who was sitting and they were like playing with themselves on the train.
Yeah.
These things were happening.
Right.
I think the problem is we try to take certain things away from what our kids are going to see anyway.
Right, but they on the internet, so they seeing it anyway.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a difference between seeing it and experiencing
But what I'm
it.
saying,
And I don't think
And I
that we
also
are
think
wrong
that-
for not wanting our children to experience certain things.
But I also don't think that they didn't invest in good schools. My parents didn't invest in good.
That's true,
You went
too.
to what was
Whatever was-
convenient. Like,
but you don't
we're
think that was a good school? Some of them schools that you went to, you know what it was? It was good. It was good areas in the school. You can go and look
I
at
go to
every
the school. The only thing that was more family oriented. But I
you can
didn't
go
to
look
the
at
school.
every bad school in the city of Chicago have great people that came out of it. You know why?
Absolutely.
Because in life, and I'm kind of guilty because my kid made the choice to go to where he goes. But I'm telling you, there's great people that come out of every high school we talk
The
about.
thing that's blowing me about the statement that you just made is because you're so educated about the lack of education in our neighborhoods, for you to make a statement like that is kind of disheartening to me. Only
Why?
because you know, if don't nobody else in this room know, you and I know that the education system in
It's
urban
trash.
areas
It's
is
trash.
trash, and you want us to subject our
Why is
children
it trash?
to. Because the lack of economics in our neighborhood, they don't feed the curriculum into our children that they need to.
The lack of parents. That's why it's trash.
Parenting.
So hold
The
on,
school
pick
can't
your
do
head
everything.
up. Pick your head up, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why. Our generation, our soft ass generation, we so concerned with how our kids look because we remember a kid being bullied. We're so concerned with our kids not being accepted for bull crap. Versus when we went to school, remember we had kids, we was going to school in pro wings. You had kids that didn't have name brand stuff. There's nothing different. There's
So
nothing.
any of that got to do with what
Because we're so focused on their emotion of being teased and bullied and all this
What
garbage.
do that have to do?
I'm
with
trying to
what
explain
we're
it to you
saying?
because now we're out here, we're working our ass off to give them these lifestyles. I'm not talking about you. Y'all know we not really the masses. But we know that there's a kid who goes to a school who got on $1,000 worth of stuff
Easily.
and he dumb as hell.
Because somebody sent him to a neighborhood school.
No, it ain't because his parent invested more in what he had on than what was going in his brain.
Right.
Because she has to do that out. You want her to do that outside of her school district. You want her to give him a tutor. You want her to go to a neighborhood school where you know the curriculum is for. But on the outside of that, you want.
No, you telling me what I want. That's not what I want.
Only because I heard you say it before.
No.
Go ahead.
I want her to get her ass up and go to a parent-teacher conference. I want her to march her ass down there and go get on the alderman. I want her to march her ass down to Brandon Johnson house and don't get mad at these immigrants and get mad at the fact that their school systems is terrible. I want y'all to get y'all ass off the internet, being messy, and go do something productive for your neighborhood. See, I'm the one who gonna tell you, black communities are messed up because of black people.
1,000%.
Because we invested in the wrong things.
Right.
And then we look at the black person that sends his kid to a white school, predominantly white school, or a selective enrollment school. We mad at them though. We talk bad about them. Oh, y'all think y'all better than us? No, I think me, my family, and my kid are better than the choice that you just made.
Right.
So that is what
So what I'm
L'Oreal
saying-
and I
so what
are
I'm
doing.
saying- so hold
We're
on.
sending our kids to those
So-
selective enrollment
But what I'm
schools.
saying is,
That's a
y'all
good thing.
y'all just gave me an excuse of why our schools are bad. You missed that point. Our school systems in your neighborhood school would be.
Or
No, I thought it would be Austin.
I just told you.
You live down the street from Austin.
I said what it is, and it's
Okay.
or. I had to enroll my son.
Or it's not a
It was
bad school.
or.
My husband graduated from Or.
Terrible. Carry on.
But there,
What's terrible?
I can tell you
I
right now.
said it.
I can tell you right now.
Not my husband.
I can tell
I
you
didn't
right
go to a
now.
neighborhood school. I travel an hour and a half, 2 hours.
And that's
on a
why.
bus.
But I can tell you right now. I know there's at least 3 kids that's graduating out of Or. This matter of fact, hey, True, ain't that an Or jacket you got on? He'll catch that later. What I'm saying is, there's at least
Amazing school.
There's at least 3 or
Black
4
men
kids.
every
There's
day.
at least 3 or 4 kids. They got full rides.
We're not saying that.
So what I'm
I'm
saying
not
to y'all
saying
is,
that.
You don't even want us to put our
let me
kids
say,
in
I'm
order.
not
So
saying
what's this
that.
I don't.
conversation
No,
about?
what I'm saying to
I'm
you
not
is,
You put your kid in
what I'm
school,
saying
if
is
you gonna
you
work
have
with
the
your kid
opportunity.
afterwards, it ain't everything
What
on
I'm
the
saying
teachers.
is, right, but what I'm saying is you have the opportunity to put your kid, I know in your household, education is grade A #1. And you be a damn
Why you
fool.
saying all that?
Relax. Who sent me there?
But,
I didn't see the number. That's what you picked to go.
oh,
I didn't send you there. I went to Foreman.
The West House.
White school.
but what I'm saying is,
Not a great school.
you be a fool. You be a fool to pass up on the school that your kid going to. You be a fool, in my opinion. But if you didn't want your kid traveling that distance, if y'all don't know how he gonna get to school every day, and you decided to put your kid in OR, you
Gotta
get up,
step your game
you
up.
get up and you go to OR. You schedule your meeting with the principal, and you had a conversation with the principal to let them know this is not your regular kid that's coming here in a respectful way.
Period.
And I'm telling you, that's something that we're not doing. We're not doing that. And we talk about Karen, who going and sending her kids to certain schools, but they going in there and they setting the tone. My kid is not your average kid. I'll be up here every day if I have to.
Yep.
We're gonna make sure he
I'm
goes to
calling
school. We're
down
gonna
to
do
the
this.
board.
I'm calling to the board. I'm gonna call the police every day.
Exactly.
What I'm saying to you is, you saying, because my kid goes to a private school. My kid chose to not go to the public school. Me and my kid made a bet. I'm not going to back out on his bet. But if my kid chose to go to the local school, I'm 1,000% telling you, my ass would have been up at the school.
You gonna put the
We're
work
going to have
in.
a meeting with the teacher. We're going to have a meeting with the dean. We're going to have a meeting with this principal. I'm going to let you know I'm involved because
Period.
we did it in his grammar school, to the point that everybody like, why are y'all even here for parent-teacher conference? What y'all doing here? He's a straight A student. I don't give no damn. I want y'all to know that we here.
Right.
And it's not
That doesn't
enough of
happen,
us.
though. Right.
That's what I was
It doesn't
saying.
happen.
It's not enough of us because I'm telling you, out South Harper was a terrible school. Harper is 3 blocks from Lindblom. My neighborhood school was Harper or Lindblom.
And Limbo was amazing.
Lindblom is one of the best schools in the state.
That's right.
Just being honest with you. And that's that support. So even just to wrap all of that up, why I got to that is, that's something that we should have taken from them. Because that's why they didn't mind sending you wherever you go, because no matter where you go, you're going to go in there and do your damn job.
Period.
You're not going to get in here. You're not going to get to playing with these kids. You're going to go do what the hell I told you to do.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. That's what was happening.
Right.
I'm telling you that's what was happening.
That's exactly
so
what was happening.
You went to a school away from your home, right?
Yeah,
Far away from your home.
man, was Collins.
You went
was
to-
my neighbor. No, that was my neighborhood
How about
school. I went to
yours?
Taft.
And Taft wasn't the best of schools.
No.
You know that like I know that.
I
And
mean,
Taft,
I went.
and
I
Taft-
Thinking about the curriculum sometimes, so that's what I was gonna say about or.
Okay.
That's not gonna change the demographic of the kid that they go with.
And I agree.
And so she wanted to change the
And I agree.
demographic that she surrounded herself
And I
with.
agree.
Because even if the curriculum changed, it's still Ray Ray that
Hold
go
on.
there with her.
Yep.
I mean, that's still something else to be had.
Now, what
talked about.
And
I want to
that-
ask you
and
is,
it's
how did you,
funny
what's
what
the
you
name? How did you, so when you went to Taft, was the neighborhood safer?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't.
Did you get more out of school than what you thought you would have got out of Collins? Or did you talk to anybody that went to Collins?
Who
I
went
would
to
say. I
college?
mean, I had
Who went to college? Nobody went to college.
No,
some of
somebody went to
my
college.
some of my friends went to Collins, but
How did they turn
I mean, I don't know.
As far as in school,
I don't
right.
talk to them.
out? Okay, but
She was gonna go to Taft, but we couldn't find it. So if I can't find it in the car, you can't find it.
My brother
We're not
went there
going.
too, so
Yeah.
it was
different.
different.
I think I was enrolled in Taft, wasn't I? We went for
He also followed there because his basketball coach left
It
our
makes
grammar
sense.
school,
And then, see,
and he
that-
went
those
there and
type of things
recruited
make
him.
sense.
You know, but I also think that he probably would have had a better chance if he went somewhere like neighborhood school for basketball. You know,
And those are the, those
but at
are
that time,
those
Taft
are
was
the tough
predominantly black when my brother went there,
Yeah,
and
and now-
it was a lot of fighting. It was a lot of that going on. Versus when I finally got in there, my class was probably the last of the bulk of like
all them people.
blacks. Yeah.
The moral of the story is you got to keep your foot on your kid's neck.
Yep.
Bottom line.
I do understand, I do
Agree.
think.
And that's where we lack at. You all's generation lack that. Everything is about structure. When you go to work, you can't do what you want to do. So why do you let them do what they want to do now? Everything should be time. When you at work at somebody's job, it's a time. You can't just go to lunch and you come in at 8. You can't just take lunch at 9. You gotta have structure. All this soft and reasoning and negotiation, there is no negotiation. You do it, there is nothing else but to do it. You don't get another option. Well, I don't feel like doing it. You don't have another option that you don't feel like doing. You have to do it, period.
Would
That's
you?
life.
So even like right now, your daughter's young. Do you believe that there are some things that you need to tweak as far as the way that you're raising her?
1,000%.
We all
I don't think that
that's a mom.
anybody feels
Hold on.
like they're doing everything they should.
Now the bigger question is, do you think you need to take some things from the way your mother raised you and apply them? That's that, because I think you turned out an amazing person. I'm not just saying it for the show either.
I guess I can't think about what it is that
And
my
again, I don't
mom
know.
I think we just
did that I don't do.
Structure.
I don't know why you think she don't have structure.
She doesn't.
Because what you see, and I'm saying this is because it's a personal thing. What you may see, there's nothing wrong with, you might just be looking at the next 2 years. What she may see is the next 6 years. Because the fact that is your daughter, she has some of the traits that you had. And maybe she did some things to turn you a different direction. You get what I'm saying?
What do we feel like? So I guess when we saying structure,
Uh-huh.
maybe that's what I'm saying is maybe the issue. Because you were continuously saying like structure, time, do this at this time, do this.
Correct.
And so she does have those things. What she don't have, but what she also has in addition to that though, is the wit that you were talking about,
Woo.
the smart mouth and these things. And so I told y'all I don't like when they laugh.
Go ahead, my bad.
But either way, it's not that she don't have the structure. I guess she just don't have. I guess it's me telling her to silence herself more. Stop doing this.
It
Stop
ain't-
doing
it ain't
this.
But you shouldn't tell her to silence herself
You should
more.
tell her
'cause
how to
she-
conduct it.
Right. She needs to learn how. And then I don't know what your definition of structure is. My definition is structure at 2 o'clock. This needs to happen. So there's no leeway. And like L'Oreal mentioned earlier, she was like, well, they're doing stuff at a certain time. Bedtime is 9 o'clock. So I know as a parent, I need to have you home by 8:30 so we can start winding down. We can't skip today. So I had a tennis practice. Oh, it went to 10. You got to cut it off.
So
It's
let
them
me tell you
first.
something. I had structure with my son because we traveled so far for school.
Mhm.
8 o'clock, his body shut down. I had him on a schedule.
Every single day?
Yes,
Okay.
until recently, until back.
That's-
Now we
because
all
like-
over that. Yeah,
because
but
That's what she's
immediately.
saying. What she's
But
saying.
you-
But I
that's
get
taken
it. But I
away
get it.
from-
But that, of course,
Don't
that's
call
because of
it
the later,
shit. I don't like that.
but
Thank you.
from Kenny, even when he was a baby, he slept in the dark. I had structure. I did
Okay.
bath at a certain time. I did all of
Okay.
that. So now, yes, we might be a little more, but I'm also more single
Oh.
mom. Is you? I mean, it's hard. You know what I'm saying?
Is,
But structure is something they-
But I get it. But I
It's
get
less
it.
parenting that you
And
have to
it's-
do.
and it's now it's
'Cause
like-
they're really smart. So he'll know at 9 o'clock, he should start on his own getting ready for bed. He already know this. So if you set it, it's going to fall in line.
Yeah,
With them
but-
few, it should be very few,
It's few lenient times. I
right,
think
few
so,
lenient
too.
times and few things come up. Things come up. You got to think, oh, my girlfriend having a party today. It's at 10 and they need to. No, you got to tell your girlfriend, my kids come first. I can't make this party. I got to have her in the bed by 8, 9. She got to have this. That's a different story. You got to make choices. So if you want them to follow rules, you got to follow rules. You got to see that they enforce them.
No, that's something I do agree with, for real. Because I know that's when some of the things that me and my mom talked about, and I'm seeing them. Where I believe in letting you hit your head. As a man, oh, you don't want to do that? Cool. When you get up in the morning and I say,
That's what I said.
Get
You
your-
want
get up
to
at
get in the
6
shower.
o'clock.
5 o'clock, you getting in the shower.
no, you don't get up, your ass gonna miss practice these next 2 weeks.
I agree.
I'm gonna take something away from you.
That you love.
And it's only because that's what sacrifice is.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
And I haven't heard punishment from you all's generation. I don't hear nobody saying their kids on punishment.
I do.
They grounded. Do you all even know what that means? Do you know what taking something away from?
I do.
Yeah, we do take stuff away from my kids.
But for how long? A day and they break you down?
No.
Take the phone for 2 weeks. Y'all take the phone for an hour or a few. Don't give it back to because they keep coming in and can I have my phone? Tell them don't come back in here and ask for this damn phone.
You know what I say? You ask again, it's another week.
I like that.
Yeah.
You know, you ask again, don't ask me again, it's another week. You ask me again, it's another day.
But see, you don't have to do it a lot, I think, already because your kids are
older,
number one. But also, I think that I personally believe that boys are different than girls.
Absolutely.
I think that boys are a lot more chill. They're a lot more relaxed.
Not in this generation. They're not. They're not. Let me tell you why. Me and you just talked about the ride wave. This is the ride wave era. This is the emotional era. So the reason why a lot of men are losing because our grandfathers wouldn't survive today. Because our grandfathers was called misogynistic, ego-driven. They was told you need to be humbled, you need to be this, everything to tear you down from who you really are. That's a leader. As a leader, I don't give a damn if you talk about a king, if you talk about a general in a war, it's militant. So we're structured. We are. I don't. Men and males are generally. Men. When you talk about your man, your ideal man, your man. You know, you say you love black men. Your black man was the guy who said, "Go sick." Hey, your mama said what she said. If I gotta come over there, I'm not doing no talking. That bass in that man's voice changes the tone of the whole room.
Yes,
the woman just.
So
the woman just
when their generation
pushed it,
right? Our generation, where they at?
Well,
where they at?
Can I be honest with you? I want to keep this about mothers. A lot of that.
It should be about moms.
A lot of this has to be. Let's be realistic. You got a lot of women who their era started the power change. Mm-hmm. You all are really enjoying the fruits of the labor of what they fought for. Yet you all are fighting for nothing. This stuff that has not a damn thing to do with you. It has everything to do with them and your grandmother.
I think that their generation, unfortunately, didn't have a choice but to change the power structure because the men were taken from them.
Right.
So I received that.
But then there was also men that got kicked out.
Taken from them, kicked out, whatever they did, they was gone, right? So they had no choice but to then become mother and father. Unfortunately, I feel like that's the situation you in. You have to take on some roles and things that you didn't have, that your natural instinct isn't telling you to do. Does that make sense to you? What I'm saying? So I'm saying that to say,
and that's a struggle.
And I'm sure that it's a struggle.
You know, like that's the emotional roller coaster. You know what I'm saying? But then when you don't have friends that's in that same, that can understand it, that's even more. They may have had multiple, people that they can lean on that, man, it's whatever, conversation wise. If you don't have that, like, you can understand, but can you really understand when you have
we can understand, but we cannot relate. Then there's a difference. In addition to us not being able to relate, we still, because I'm a friend, and because I have a husband, I'm not doing it by myself. I can hear what you're saying.
But you can't feel it.
I can't feel what you're saying. But I also, in addition to that, can't necessarily let you sit in that either because it's not productive.
I'm not gonna sit in it because the same thing when you're not feeling well.
Yes.
You got that partner to back you up and cater to you, take the kids to school. When I'm not feeling well,
you still gotta do it. Yes.
But you know what?
Because I can't. It's nobody I can depend on.
But like you said, it's a struggle. But you know what? Your struggle is paying off. And you know
why? It's the strength.
I've been with Landon, and I see. I can't say that. If I didn't know him, I wouldn't be able to tell he was raised by a single mother. That's number one. He's an amazing kid.
Thank you.
Period. I've never asked him to do anything he didn't do. He does not backtalk me. I don't see the attitude or nothing. He may not want to do it, but he's gonna do it. So whatever your struggle is, it's always paying off.
But they've experienced
You're not gonna be struggling for long. You're not gonna be struggling for long because it's already paying off. He's already going in the right direction. I have no problem with him. He's an amazing.
But I also, you know what I'm saying, there's sometimes I struggle with that.
Wonderful, isn't it? How wonderful.